Hello and welcome back to another video on The Rosey Life. I'm so glad that you are here because today we're going to talk about some amazing things. First thing I want to share with you is an amazing story that is just going to make you so happy to hear. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to play Wheel of Conditions because you know how much I love games. So we are going to get started first of all with this wonderful story about one of my clients and a member on the Rosey Life membership channel. She booked a session with me and we talked, and then following that session she contacted me and asked me if she could make make an appointment and purchase a session for her adult daughter. And she said she had her adult daughter watched several videos of mine. She was unfamiliar with the manifesting world and community reality creation, and she wasn't watching any creators or any videos, or she was just like, you know, not interested or just hadn't found it. And one of my client's desires was for her kids to know who they are, to learn about, I'm gonna put this away because it's gonna bug me, I'm gonna detangle it, to know who they are in a very easy, fun way. And she says, I want that for them, because she said her story is that she's been studying reality creation for a very long time and has struggled with so many topics, concepts, different laws, different coaches, different teachers, going through different methods and conditions and rules and all of these things that a lot of you are familiar with. And her frustration level is just, you know, was beyond. And she says, I don't want that for my kids. I want them to understand who they are really easy and quick. And fast forward, her daughter was experiencing something unfavorable in her life. Her boyfriend had broken up with the daughter. And my client said, you know what, this is a time to book a session with Rose. She had her daughter watch a few of my videos just so she can kind of get an idea of how I talk and what I'm talking about. And she says, that's enough. She says, I'm gonna book a session for you with Rose, and I want you to talk to her privately. And so she can walk you through, you know, what's going on. So I had the session with her daughter, and again, exactly what her mom described, that she was not very familiar with a lot of the things that we hear in reality creation and in this community of law of assumption, law of attraction, the law of one, metaphysics, the science behind it, the observer effect. Like, it wasn't like something that she was familiar with. And I actually got happy when she said that, because I was just like, yeah, we're gonna hit this like an arrow in the target first time around. And so we talked, and at the beginning of the call, she was really upset because her boyfriend had told her he didn't want to be with her anymore and that he was done. And he gave her like the cutoff, and he's just like, no, he's like, I'm not ready for a relationship with you, or whatever the wording was. And they had been together already for a while, and I think they were even living together. But anyway, he moved out and all these things, and she was really upset. And when she got on the phone with me, she said, Rose, I've just been crying nonstop for days. And she says, I don't want this. And she says, I just feel helpless and powerless. And I let her explain to me her situation. I just walked her through the simplicity of, you are everything, you have it all. And whatever you are telling yourself, whatever you're assuming is happening, that's the only thing that's ever happening. And whatever you're assuming about yourself, if you see yourself as like a loser or someone that can't handle or in relationships or can't keep it, you can meet a wonderful person or get a wonderful job, but somehow, some way, or the money or the health or whatever, you lose weight and then you lose it. I'm like, that's how you see yourself. I said, but if you see yourself as someone that's always winning and successful and gets what they want, and you are actually lovable and that you're loved. And then I said, the way that you see yourself, I said, that's how he has to reflect you back. And she says, yeah, I don't see myself that way. I said, so what if you just decided that you now do see yourself that way? And I said, and decide from that point of view, from that perspective, that of course he wants to be with you. Why wouldn't he want you? Because you always get your way and you're lovable. And she went from feeling really upset by the end of the call saying, what the fuck? She's like, I'm in charge? I'm in charge? Like, whatever I say goes? Like, I'm in charge of my own life, of my own reality, and that how I see myself is how everybody has to treat me? And I said, yes. And she was like happy. We talked about an upcoming event that she had, where she was going to see him. And I said, no matter what he says, no matter what he does, no matter even if he walks, I said, make him a sandwich. If he wants to walk out, I said, don't fight it. Don't resist it. Just go with it. I said, just go with it. Say goodbye. I understand. Pack him a little snack. Help him pack his little stuff if he's like insistent on leaving. I said, don't stop. Don't try to control anything. And I said, and don't allow anything that's happening get in the way of your decision. Like, you made the decision. And she's like, okay. She says, no matter what, I stick to my choice. I said, that's right. Well, a few hours later, they were back together. And both her and her mom told me, she was the one, I think her mom was that told me, but her mom brought it up again in the live, in our membership live yesterday. And I asked permission to share all these things, obviously. But within like 4 hours, she said, they were officially back together. He's treating her like a queen. He's treating her with respect. She's getting everything she wants. And she said, and the most important thing, she said, she says, my daughter now knows who she is and that she's the prize. She said, that to me is the best thing ever. And her daughter knows that she's in charge. She knows she's the power. She knows she's source. She knows she is reality, that whatever she desires is what is true and nothing more. And I was so excited to share this story because there's so many, so much information out there, and so much information out there about reality creation, so many books and authors, both dead and alive, right? And people trying to explain how reality creation works, and that it's more than you knowing yourself as source. Like, I've even heard coaches say, like, knowing yourself as source is not enough. You still have to decide who you are. Like, there's even that, like, instilling doubt in how it's described and discussed. Like that's knowing yourself as the only source is not enough. That you have to do more, that there's more to do. And if not that you need to understand how reality creation works, that you must understand the whys, the hows, the science, the biblical perspective, the scientific perspective. There's so many ways to describe this, and there's like so much discourse in how it's taught, and people feeling overwhelmed and mad and sad that they've spent months, if not years, working on their self-concept and trying to figure out what's wrong with them, and they're not aligned to it, and that they have to do so many things. They have to feel the vibration. They have to feel good. You have to feel neutral. You have to feel conviction. Like, you have to do all of these things. And I wanted to share this specific success story of one of my clients. Like, not only did mom get what she wanted, but her daughter got what she wanted, because I wanted to share her story to share and elaborate that it's not necessary, that there is literally nothing that you need to know. You do not, like I've said before, you don't have to know how to build an engine in a car to get in and drive it. Do you see? It's the assumption that you are the reality of your life, that you are reality, that you are the only source of your reality. It's just that choice. And she made that choice to go ahead and assume that that's true, that what I say goes. And some of you might even be tempted to say, oh, she didn't have any resistance to it, and that's why she manifested so quickly, because she wasn't familiar with the laws. I wish I never knew anything about the law of assumption or law of Neville or being or attraction. I wish I never knew any of this, because then I too could have what I wanted. That wasn't it. She had a shit ton of resistance. Her boyfriend dumped her. He moved out. He gave her a deadline. She was feeling awful. She was crying for days. She didn't see anything improving. Her mom tried consoling her. Nothing was consoling this girl. She had a lot of resistance. But what she did is choose to go all in and believing in her own word, that she is the only truth, that what she decides is the only truth. There is nothing and no one against her. There's nothing and no one rejecting her. There's nothing and no one contradicting her, that she is the only truth. She went all in on herself. That's all she did. She went all in. It's not what she said. It's not what she affirmed. It's not what she visualized. She went all in on herself. There is no need to understand the why behind it. There's no need to understand how reality creation works. There is nothing that she did. She didn't understand. There's a lot of things that I could have talked to her about. But I chose to keep it really simple, just like the game. That I don't have a game. That is exactly how I spoke to her. It's like, you already have it all. You have it all. And everything else is just a distraction saying you don't have it. That's it. That's it. But a lot of you keep asking, but how? But why? But what did she say? How long did it take? When is it going to happen? I've done that. How come it's not working for me? Well, I did that and it didn't happen. It didn't work. I still didn't get what I want. All of that is why you keep looking for whys and hows and answers, and you will find them. I guarantee you will find the books and the teachers and the coaches and the channels that will make this very intricate, that will make this like curl your toes, keep you awake at night, freaking out because it looks weird and spooky, talking about weird shit that you don't even need to know. You are reality. You are reality. It's the simple truth that what you say is the only thing that's ever happening. It doesn't take time for these things to unfold. That whole, even the 4 hours or 2 hours or 2 minutes or 10 days or 10 years or whatever it is, right? It's just you experiencing that idea of time of unfolding, because even that idea of unfolding in time is also happening right here, right now. You are all of it. So getting caught up in all of these, you can. I'm not telling you can't, because Lord knows I did for years. I studied this stuff. I studied the Bible. I studied the Kabbalah. I studied quantum mechanics, quantum physics. I studied psychology. I studied a lot. And I'm going to tell you, none of that is necessary for you to know and accept, for you to make a choice right now and accept that what you say, who you assume yourself to be, that's the only thing that's happening. If I assume that's what's happening, that's what's happening. But if you're like, I did assume it, but it didn't happen. Well, you didn't assume it, did it? What you did assume is you expected it not to happen. Your reality is your reflection that everybody loves to talk about. Your 3D is nothing more than crystallized assumptions and beliefs. You're just looking at yourself. You're always looking at and walking around inside your own consciousness. There's no in and out. There's no internal and external. It's all one. It's all one. We think that because something has crystallized in your 3D reflection, that just means that it's now a 3D thing that you can touch. But just because I can touch this doesn't make this more real than what I am assuming right now. They're both equally real. Everything is here, because if it's not here and it's not now, like I said in that video with I don't have a game, it's almost like there's a huge camouflage blanket. It's all here. You just can't see it because you insist that you cannot see it. You insist that it's not here. And it's your own personal stories that you each individually have. It's not a general, this is how you do it, this is how everybody has to do it, or the ways they don't get what they want. You have to do these following steps. If you don't follow these steps, you're going to miss it. So let's get squeaky clean and not miss a step. It's not like that. It's your personal individual story about your life, and your reality is the only thing that you're ever experiencing. So I can't tell you what your story is. You can't tell me what my story is, and no one can do that. Only you know your own story and what you are literally hypnotizing yourself with. It is your own story that you keep telling yourself, and you're so in the thick of it that you're not seeing it. Once you see your own story, it's gonna blow your mind. You're gonna ask, how do you see your own story? It's obvious, it's in your face, it's what you go around telling yourself. I'm not talking about, let's say that you want more money, right? And you see with your eyes that maybe your bank account says $1,000. Okay, and then you want to see $1 million, and you're affirming for $1 million, but what you actually are expecting and believing to see every day is that $1,000. So no matter how many times you're saying $1 million, you continue to expect and say, but I only have the 1,000, but I only have this, but I only have this, but I only have this. Nothing changed. It didn't change. So you're not actually expecting the $1 million. And what I mean by expecting is that it's already there. That's what I see. I don't care what my eyes see. I know what I said is there. That is what's there. Yeah, the $1,000 is there, but so is the $1 million. I don't choose 1,000. I choose the $1 million. It's not about ignoring the 3D. It's not about pretending. Why would you ignore your 3D when your 3D is just you? You're just looking at yourself. You're looking at more options. You're looking at the options that are there, and you're like, oh, I thought this was the only thing. I thought I had to get rid of what I'm looking at. I thought I had to change what I'm looking at. I don't. I'm looking at it and realizing that these are just more options. I'm deciding that I want this option instead. This is what I choose. This is who I said I am. I don't have to remove these options. I don't have to make these options go away. They're just simply not my choice. I decided that this is who I am. But a lot of you're saying the right words, because I see it in the comments. I hear it in my sessions. You're saying the right words, but you're not identifying with your story. You're still identified with the $1,000 story. You're not identified with that $1 million story. Even though you're saying it, you're still holding on to the $1,000 story just in case that $1 million one doesn't work. It's almost like you keep that other story and you're so over-identified with it, you've literally almost like put yourself in a trance with that story. So that's why you want to back up and see, okay, what am I really identifying with? Because it has to be. It's your mirror, it's not gonna lie. There's no hack. It's literally your only experiencing who you are saying you are in this moment right now. There's no past to say what I tried. There's no past. You just clicked and dragged that into the present. There's no future because you're just clicking and dragging that into the present. There is nothing other than right now. So right now, it's who are you identifying as? Now, what a lot of people will do is they'll say like, oh, this is who I am. Remember this person, this girl that I talked about at the beginning of the video, she didn't have to do none of this shit because she just went right for it. She's like, no, I'm this now and I don't care what it looks like. It doesn't matter because that's not who I am anymore. She didn't do the wheel of conditions. She didn't go here. But many of you still are. What a lot of you'll do is the wheel of conditions. You'll spin the wheel, pretend this is spinning. Psing. Oh, I got to change my self-concept. That's why I don't have it. Oh, I have to align to it vibrationally. That's why I don't have it. Right? Or I have to stay in the identity long enough till something starts changing. That's why I don't have it, because I keep wavering. That's it. I'm wavering. That's why I don't have it. I have to understand the why and the how of why creation works. And I have to understand the why and the how. I'm God, I'm source. I need to prove that to myself. Otherwise, I'm just never going to understand why. I need to answer to my brain that I literally created and manifested and made up. I'm going to answer to it. The brain's going to be in charge, and I'm going to do what it tells me to do. It's curious. It wants to know why. So I'm now going to listen to the brain, because obviously it's in charge, not me. I need to shift. I haven't shifted. Oh, you haven't shifted yet. That's why you don't have it. You have to let go. You have to let go. Once you let go of it and you don't care about it, it's done. Then it comes. When you don't care about something, you notice how it just comes to you? Another condition. So now you have to learn how to let go. Or how about, the transaction. Oh, yes. The universe likes transactions. So you have to give something of value. And if you want money, you have to give something of value so that you can receive value. So if you're a business or you want money, you have to give to the community or give a good product. You have to have a channel on which there's an exchange, because the universe is an international exchange program where we have to exchange value. I got to give value to receive value. Flip thoughts. You got to flip your thoughts. You have too many negative thoughts. That's why. Another condition to be made. Resistance. That's it. You have too much resistance to it. That's all. You got to clear the resistance. You got to address the resistance. You got to say things that your brain will accept. You got to make sure your subconscious mind will accept what you're saying you are by giving it proof, by giving it evidence, by starting small and building up. You gotta address the resistance, because once you release resistance, then it'll come through. And then of course the self-concept, that if you don't love yourself, if you don't like yourself, if you don't see yourself as enough and whole, if you don't see yourself as chosen and worthy, that no one's going to love you because you don't know how to love yourself. So you need to learn how to love yourself. And when you learn how to love yourself, then others can love you too. So improve your self-concept, seeing yourself as the best and the perfect one, and keep repeating that every day for 10 minutes in the morning. When you wake up, do that, or go to the mirror and do it. That'd even be more powerful. Go in front of the mirror and do it then, and then do it on a break at lunch, and then do it again once at night before you go to bed. That kind of just like ticks off the whole box, and you're Gucci. The Wheel of Fortune. This is how I fucking felt with this. And I know a lot of you do. So here's the visual that I gave my members in the members live yesterday, and a lot of them really, really liked it. The truth is simple. That's my choice. That's my choice. That's my assumption. That is how I see reality. The truth is simple. I don't believe that an unconditional source, potential, love, God, intelligence would give us something that's so complicated that we have to go in like Minecraft and build and find tunnels and build shit, build self-concept, build alignment, build a defense system, be proactive for when I spiral, this is what you do. For when you have too many thoughts, this is what you do. It's like fucking Minecraft on how to build a reality, that it has to be so complicated. If you want to, you can. I promise you there's a smorgasbord of teachers out there that will make it complicated for you. Or they just love asking why. They love delving into the topics on a deeper level. Shit, I could do it for hours and days. I've done it. But it doesn't get you anywhere. It gets you asking more questions, because that's an identity. That's another identity of the seeker, the one that needs questions, that wants to know why. I want to scratch my brain. I need to know why behind everything. Who's I? Source doesn't need to know why everything works. Source doesn't need to know how everything works, because Source is it. Source already knows how. So if you guys are those people that want the scientific approach, that want all the questions answered, the hows, the whys, and you know yourself as Source, why not just decide and assume that you already know it, that you already understand it all, that you already get it, that you had the light bulb, that you already understand all of these things. You know why and how everything works. You can assume that instead of going deep, dark into the how and test it. And let's see if I can manifest something out of thin air to test it. Let me see if I can do these things. Of course you can, but that's not what you want. What you're wanting is whatever it is that you're watching this video for: money, health, wealth, love, whatever the hell it is. So you can assume that you understand it all, because Source doesn't need lessons. Source doesn't need to read a million books to understand who and what it is. Source already knows what it is. It just wants to experience everything it is. And that aspect of Source wanting and pretending that it doesn't know what it is, pretending it needs to read books, pretending it needs to understand, it's pretending, also pretending that the truth is simple, pretending all of it. It doesn't care what we do and what we don't do. Source is all that is. So whatever you decide you are, that's what you are. So amongst all the choices, you are free to choose how you see your reality, how you see reality creation, how you see manifesting. My personal choice is the truth is simple. So that said, the analogy that I shared in my membership life is this: no matter what you say, no matter what you do, no matter what you feel, no matter what you think, no matter what beliefs you think you have hiding, no matter what, if you feel like you're not convinced, no matter what you think you remember, no matter what you think your body looks like or feels like, no matter what is happening in your life, in your world, no matter what is happening around you, no matter what your bank account says, no matter what anything is going on, the truth is this: you are always fulfilled. You will always have it all. You always had it all, you have it all, and you'll always have it all. You've always been complete and fulfilled. And I just realized that one thing, I was like, there was one thing that I wanted to look up before I started recording. That's okay, because you guys know I do this on the fly. Let's look up the definition of fulfilled. Okay. Definition fulfilled is: fulfilled means happy, feeling happy and satisfied, completed, or having met a requirement. It describes a state of personal joy, a finished task, or an answered promise. That's you. You are always fulfilled. When you decide that that is your dominant identity above all your desires, above everything else, because you're Source. So if you decide to recognize yourself, because you're recognizing, even if you don't decide, you don't even have to decide it. It's the truth of who you are. You are fulfillment itself. That's what Source means. Source means fulfillment of what? Of everything. So when you declare yourself, I am fulfilled, that is my dominant state. That's who I am. That is how I operate. We're always manifesting. We're always naturally manifest. We're naturally shifting in every moment. That's why we're talking, we're eating, we're moving, we're brushing our hair, because those are all shifts. Those are all manifestations. So you don't have to learn how to do it because we're already doing all that. But what is driving it? Remember, it's your identity that is causing everything to manifest, like your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, what you do, what you don't do, right? So instead of trying to micromanage all the little things in your, how do I manifest money? How do I manifest this? How do I stop spiraling? How do I stop that? Go to your dominant identity. Who is the mother of all identities? I'm source. I am fulfilled. I am fulfillment itself. I am whole and complete. How many times have you guys heard me say this? You're whole and complete. That is who we are. We're whole and complete. What is whole? Oh, let's look up the definition of whole really quick. Obviously, I manifested the Google search and the definition to share with you guys. Even the computer, even the fingers so that I can type it, and the eyeballs so that I can sit here and read it. Even the glasses so that I can say, oh, I have glasses. It's all a creation. The meaning of whole, the definition of whole, this is you. Lock in, because I'm talking about you. The word whole means complete, entire, undamaged. I'm gonna fix my new concept. It describes something that has all its parts, is not broken, or makes up the full amount. It's not broken. It has all its parts. It's undamaged, entire, complete. So what are we doing here? What are we doing with this? You're whole. It's not even if. You're whole. Since you are a whole, complete being, you're completely fulfilled. When? Right now. Always right now. What are we doing trying to align to something that you already are? What are we shifting to when you're already it? What are you letting go of so that you can get your stuff when you already have it? What is the transaction? Who are you giving something to so you can get something in return? What thoughts are you having to flip so you can have what you want? What resistance do you have to get rid of so that you can be it? What self-concept when you're whole and you're not broken? You're completely fulfilled. You're undamaged and not broken. Do you want to identify yourself as fulfilled and whole? That's my question for you, because I can't make you. I'm just pointing you to the truth of who you are. Let's keep it simple. Let's keep going. In my little hand, I have little cards that I made just for you guys. And we're gonna use this. We're gonna get rid of the, wheel of conditions. Damn it, no, that's wet. Okay, that's okay. We're gonna blow on it. It's trying to work. I wasn't prepared for this part. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm trying. I need a new marker too. This one sucks. Okay, that's okay. We don't need that. It's blank. Actually, that's good. Low key, that's perfect. Okay, because everything works out for me. This is the truth. Okay, this is the truth. Clean slate, constantly, because this is pure potential. This is the truth. This is fulfillment. The reason it's a clean slate is because you get to put whatever you want on top of the truth. The truth is that you're whole, perfect, fulfilled. You're fulfilled. You have everything you want right now. You have it all right now. You are everything. You have everything. You're completely whole and fulfilled. You're unbroken. Nothing's wrong with you. Nothing's wrong with your life. Nothing's wrong with your body. Nothing's wrong with your conditions. Now, you're the truth. You can't change this. Too fucking bad. You're the truth. You're fulfilled and you're complete, whether you like it or not. It's who you are. Underneath it all, underneath every thought, every feeling, your body, underneath every assumption, every belief, everything out there, every book, every teacher, everything. The truth is that you are complete. You're whole and complete. That's the truth. That's what you can accept, you can acknowledge or not. There's no hack to it because you are it. Even when you say, I don't know it, I don't feel it, you still are. Even when you say, I don't feel like I'm whole and fulfilled, you are. Even when you're crashing out, you're fulfilled. That girl that I talked about at the beginning of the video, she's fulfilled all the time, even when she was crying and she was like, it's not working, it's not happening. She chose to see herself as fulfilled. She chose to see her word as the only truth. She chose to see herself as whole. I'm not missing nothing. Nope, not falling for this shit. I'm fulfilled. I'm always fulfilled no matter what I see, no matter what I feel. Now, because you are the truth and you are fulfilled, you get to experience whatever the hell you want. That's you having, what's the point of all of this? To have the experience. And you get to determine and decide what experience you want. Whatever you want to put on top of truth, the fulfilled, your fulfillment, you get to do. Now, if you want to play around with definitions of science, you can put that on top of the truth and use that to explain. If you want to say laws of assumption, law of one, law of this, law of that, you can put that on top of the truth. That's okay. If you're talking about your body, oh, but I have a physical body. I have a human experience, Rose. We're still having a human experience, but my body looks fat or skinny or old or hurts. You can put that on top of fulfillment. If you want to talk about your thoughts and feelings, but my thoughts and my feelings, they won't shut up and they won't stop and I hurt and they feel so bad and they're scary and they feel anxious, you can put that on top of the truth. If you want to say there's a third problem, if you haven't watched my last video, run and go watch that last video. Like now, go and then come back. A third problem, you can say that's there. On top of fulfillment, on top of the truth. If you want to tell me about your bills that you have and they're piling up, you can put that on top of your fulfillment. If you want to talk about your deadlines, I need to manifest in a time crunch, you can put that on top of the fulfillment of who you are. If you want to tell me about how long it's been taking, all that time, and that times just keep on going, you can put that on top of fulfillment. But notice that the truth, fulfillment, I'm whole and complete, and I have it all now, didn't move. What changed? You put all kinds of crap on top of fulfillment. You put on your wheel of conditions, thinking that these things that are dancing on top of the truth you're fulfilled, you think that those things are in your way. They're not in your way. Why? Because remember, you're new in every moment. There's nothing there. You're the one that keeps piling up what you want to put on fulfillment in every moment. You're always fulfilled no matter what. You're the one that's insisting that all these little things are in the way, that you have to fix them, you have to deal with them, that you have to figure out, but it's in my face, but it's happening, but it's a deadline, but it's here, but it's here, but it's there, but look, I have proof. No, it's here, I have to, but what do you do in this situation? How do I deal with this? How do I apply this? Blah, 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 blah. You're fulfilled. Even when you're doing that, you're still fulfilled. You are fulfilled. Your fulfillment itself, you are always whole and complete. The definition of whole again means complete, entire, undamaged. It describes something that has all its parts It's not broken. It has all of the parts, but you don't want to identify with that. You want to identify with all of the problems and the conditions and fix them and overcome them so that you can then experience your fulfillment of your desire. It's your choice. I'm just pointing you to the simplicity of, I am the truth. I'm fulfilled right now. I'm whole and complete. I'm missing nothing. What will you choose? Because that's your choice. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye.